So what's coming our way in X-Men Season 2? Well, it turns out Marvel's head of streaming and television dropped in on Collider and gave us some pretty big previews of what's coming our way, and it turns out the X-Men are not going to be the only team in Season 2. At least not the only team with an X beside their name. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what Wonder Bomb had to say, what it means for Season 2, and what other X-Men teams might actually make it into the second season. Well, I know I'm not alone in hoping that X-Men 97 Season 2 will find its way on the Disney Plus next year. Now, this is far from confirmed by Marvel Studios, but we did learn at D23 earlier this month that the team will don some new costumes that were inspired by that Frank Morrison and Frank Quitely's new X-Men run, which should make for some interesting visuals. Now, over the weekend, Marvel Studios' head of streaming and animation, Brad Wonderbaum, appeared at a Q&A alongside supervising producer Jake Castanero and director Emi Yonemura. And they did talk a little bit about what the possibilities are for Season 2. Now, the biggest thing that came out of this interview was one of his quotes, where he said, and I quote, "There are many teams in Marvel that have a letter X followed by a hyphen. I would put it to you like this, there are 2 other X teams in Season 2. Now, if you're an X-Men fan, well, this isn't really too hard to figure out. There's X-Force, there's X-Factor, and of course there's Weapon X. And given some of these guest appearances that we have confirmed for Season 2, well, a lot of this makes sense. I almost feel assured X-Factor is going to be part of the show. Forge's old team was teased at the end of Season 1, and we have Polaris as one of those confirmed characters in that next batch of episodes, so I would definitely make bets on the likes of Havoc, Wolfbane, and Quicksilver joining up sometime soon. Now, Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth were also named at D23, and based on this, I highly suspect that we're going to get a version of the Weapon X program, probably called X-Force for the purposes of the show, and we'll see a whole nother, well, rather ruthless team take up some time in the upcoming season. I actually think if Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth are part of this team, we might actually get some callbacks to that Hulkverse movie where we saw Lady Deathstrike, Sabretooth, Omega Red, and Deadpool take on Logan, and all those characters would be huge for a Season 2, especially Deadpool after his recent success, so I would not be surprised if that is actually the other team. Now, I think this is a pretty wise move, giving us some perspective on some of the other mutant teams in this version of the Marvel Universe. At the end of last season, we were teased with a lot of Marvel characters, including Iron Man, Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger, and Spider-Man, making it pretty clear lots of Marvel heroes exist here, the Avengers definitely exist here, and with that said, many other mutant teams have some place in this world. Now, as for when the show will premiere, well, I'm still very hopeful late spring. We do know Season 2 was in production pretty early and a long time before Season 1 dropped, but all the drama with Bo DeMeo, we'll be covering some more of that soon, well, that's caused some major rewrites, so Season 2 might actually be pushed back a little bit, and unfortunately we're going to have to wait for the smoke to clear from this drama before we actually get full-fledged details. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and don't miss any of the X-Men updates, because they're going to be coming our way pretty fast.